Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcast presents How Embarrassing with Molly and Jeff.
How embarrassing!
How embarrassing! How embarrassing!
Oh, hello everybody! Welcome.
Wow.
Welcome to How Embarrassing. Hey, did you turn my microphone off?
If you're too loud, you get no microphone.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the podcast called How Embarrassing,
What? Okay, I'm
where
back.
we talk to people about embarrassing stories.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Jeff.
Okay.
I'm not good at doing the opening
I know,
thing.
you just gave me the biggest panic eyes. I was like, I can't help you now.
Molly's mic is off. What do I do?
Too late. Too
So,
late to turn back. Oh, here we are.
we're at it again. So, we have new Patreon levels because let's just start off
Okay.
because Molly sucked, so I made new ones. So the new ones is $1.
The new ones is.
The new ones is $1 gets you a shout out on the pod. $2 gets you
Stop looking at me expecting me to talk. This is literally your thing.
$2 gets you shout out on the pod and access to bonus material
That's
soon
right.
to come.
More like boner material.
Ooh, nice.
Am I right? Am I right?
$5 gets you get to suggest the product for one of the ads.
Whoa.
Could be real or fake, who knows?
do whatever you
Nice.
want.
I like that.
And then $10 gets you all of the above plus a merch item soon to come.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Ooh.
We're getting merch. It's in the works.
So sign up for Patreon. Give us your money.
Yeah, patreon.com/how embarrassing. All right. Now
right.
back to business. Jeff, do you have an embarrassing story you'd like to share?
Yes.
Okay.
So recently I moved locations where I live.
I've heard of it.
And so towards the end, I was just tired of packing and everything. So I just grabbed everything that was left and threw it in a bag. And that was including stuff from my fridge and my clothing. So I go to work the next day and I just pull out stuff from the bag because I needed clothes for work. And I get to work and I'm like, I smell like bad. And I usually smell bad, but this time it's
A different bad.
Yeah. And I was like trying to figure it out what it was. And then when I got home, I looked through the bag and my sauerkraut bottle opened. It just like went all over my clothes in there.
My sauerkraut.
Yeah, I spilled my sauerkraut.
You're disgusting.
I know.
Oh my god.
So I smelled like vinegar and sauerkraut.
Well, I have a similar story actually.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
When I was in college, I used to steal food from the dining hall. So I would bring in like little baggies and stuff to like take stuff back to my to my apartment. And so I would like throw some chicken tenders in a bag or something, like take like pieces of pizza, stuff like that. But
Pieces of pizza, not slices. You would just like rip random pieces.
Slices of pizza.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Good catch.
You fucking got me. But one day I decided, so my favorite food is mashed potatoes.
Weird.
And so I had a Ziploc baggie that I filled with mashed potatoes. And I had it in my backpack, but I had to go to class. So I was in class with my mashed potato bag and I forgot it was in there. So I like just threw it, like at the end of the class, I just threw my books back in the bag and the mashed potato bag opened and got like all over my like textbooks and stuff, had this like potato-y film on it.
You might be Irish. If you've ever had your textbooks
It was a
coated in
potato
potatoes.
explosion. Luckily, the gravy bag didn't open.
You kept them separated.
Well, I didn't fill. Yeah, I didn't fill the gravy bag all the way up either.
It's disgusting.
But yeah. So the great mashed potato explosion. I feel like that's not the only time that's happened either. I like mashed potatoes, you know? They're hard to keep contained.
Do you have any mashed potatoes on you right now?
Oh my God, I fucking wish. Do you want to get food after this?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But not
All
mashed
right.
potatoes.
All right.
Because I still have teeth. Fucking weird food.
Whatevs. I like to eat like an elder. Makes me wise.
It makes you wise.
Makes me wise.
All right, let's get to an ad break.
Yeah, like why not?
Oh no, I got peas in your mashed potatoes.
Oh my God, you got mashed potatoes, or you got mashed potatoes in my peas.
Oh no, what will we ever do? We should probably throw this all out.
Dun 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 dun. Has this ever happened to you? You're eating with someone sharing a plate and they mix their food with your food.
Gross!
Ew, yuck. Well, lucky for us, How Embarrassing the Podcast is sponsored by Food Separators. That's right. It's a miniature vacuum that will suck all the peas out of your mashed potatoes and spit them back out onto the side of the plate where the peas go.
These mashed potatoes taste just like potatoes now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Food Separator.
Yeah, thanks, Food never mind. And the ad. I had a joke to make that I don't want to make.
Was it going to be something about, like, separating them and
Yeah.
it was racist?
It
Racist
wasn't
joke?
racist. It was about peas and mashed potatoes.
It was really fun. It was like a
Like the old times?
I like how we
seven-
review our ads right when they're done.
It was like a 7-year-old came up with that ad. It was neat.
Yeah, I mean, we've been getting a lot of hate for our ads lately, so
Yeah.
I've kind of had my head in the game about it.
Love it.
Freaking for once.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, did you book a guest today?
I did. Well, no, you did. That was
Yeah.
a trick question.
That was a trick question. You freaking failed.
Let's
idiot.
get to the guest.
I think we should. All right, everybody. You know him from the time you saw him in the grocery store.
Ooh, you know him from the time he threw that avocado seed
Pit.
pit
Avocados have pits.
at a child or something. Yeah.
And you've probably seen him cry. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Garraty! It's our guest.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey, Brian. Welcome.
thank you, and thanks for having me get here right at the beginning so I could sit quietly for fucking 30 minutes. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Do you know how many brilliant, hilarious one-liners I had to add to all y'all's banter that I had to fucking sit on and are going to die with me?
I know it's hard for you to hold in your jokes, but at this point, I think it would be best if you just shut
I'm
up.
exhausted.
Do you want to say him now?
No, it's too late.
So, Brian,
God,
We can
keep him
edit
se-
him back in.
Gotta keep them separated.
Oh, the peas and mashed potatoes. Good one.
Nice.
Are you-
Everyone loves the offspring.
are you embarrassed to be here?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
Right where we want you.
I pray no one asks me what I did this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You wouldn't
don't
want to
really-
get caught
I don't really
here.
want to get into it.
Yeah.
Nah. My weekend's my private time.
Yeah, me too, dude.
Yeah, this is a very private thing we're doing.
I
right
have
now.
a lot of privacy.
That's good. It's important.
Yeah. Things are private.
We as Americans value our privacy.
It's true. Follow-up question. Do you get embarrassed easily?
God,
Jeez,
pause.
wow.
Fuck.
God, really thinking about
Get
it.
used to the pauses.
I get embarrassed easily in some aspects of life and in others not at all.
So,
Elaborate.
I feel now would be a good time to bring something up.
Okay.
Jesus.
It's something between the two of us that happened very publicly that I
Oh,
think
okay.
was.
Oh, this is about you.
Yes!
Yeah, let's
figured
talk
out the
about that.
pattern.
Let's talk about that.
I once went to a stand-up comedy show at the Push Comedy Theater, friend of the pod, and it was my birthday, and I had had a cocktail or two, or 7. And Brian was doing stand-up comedy, and I proceeded to scream horrible things at him.
You're selling yourself short. You said the absolute worst thing I think you could say to someone who's trying to do stand-up comedy. Nobody cares.
That's so fucked up.
I don't remember doing it, but it's like fully probably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done. I left the theater probably 20 minutes later crying. Also don't remember why I was crying. So
Because you like hurt your friend's feelings on
probably.
stage.
I was like, someone bullied my friend.
Did you wake up the next morning knowing that had happened?
I woke up the next morning and I was vaguely remembered. I had vague memories of the night before, and I was asking my boyfriend, Barrett Sigmund, friend of the pod, what had happened, but he didn't go to push with me, so he was like, I don't know. He was like, you came home and started eating raw pasta before it was cooked because you couldn't wait. And so I was like, oh no, this is another like Mollygram oopsie. And then I was having like a birthday party that day. And so
I don't remember getting invited to that.
yeah, well, you probably wouldn't have shown up, but I like people came over for my birthday and everyone was like, Molly, on a serious note, like that was really fucked up. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is like a thing.
I was there. I remember it clearly.
Well, I also left the theater crying that night.
Yeah, I mean, it was truly real, like very embarrassing, and to the point where like I pulled you aside and apologized to you, which is not something I do ever. But like a couple days later, I apologized to you, and
Is
then
that where we're going with a couple days?
well, then I think it was. I really feel like it was, but then people continued to pull me aside and be like, hey, like that was really fun. Like everyone decided it was their personal issue to get involved in. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a long 2 years.
I think you also yelled, you're ancient.
Wait, that's true.
The actual quote was, "Oh my God, you're ancient."
Yeah.
Hey, I have a story about Brian and stand-up also.
Oh my God, yes.
And notice I haven't done stand-up in months.
Yeah, so long story short, I am a bad person. And don't you forget it.
Oh,
Thanks.
This is
Feel
not
bad.
true.
no,
I want
A
everyone
bad
to feel
person
for
wouldn't
me.
have had alcohol to use as an excuse. A bad person would have done that soberly.
Yeah, there's no
That's
such
true.
thing as a bad alcoholic.
Okay, yeah.
So you're fine.
I'm not a bad person. I just have a drinking problem. Okay?
That's how I've been able to come to peace with this.
Yes, yeah.
But I saw Brian do stand-up once, and it was like everyone voted who their favorite comedian
It was a
at the end.
competition.
Yeah, it was a competition.
Whoa.
And at the end, they were going around.
Which is a shorter way of saying everyone voted for who they want.
all right. But yeah, I voted for someone else, and then he lost.
By like one vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, by one vote.
So I
Dude,
feel
that guy was funny.
I feel like we
But did he need 100? It was for money.
Oh.
It was for fucking money.
There was money on the line.
I know. His kids didn't eat that week.
Shit.
We didn't have Christmas that year.
So I feel like we
Shit.
introduced our guest and then me and Jeff proceeded to talk for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
this has
that's-
been going pretty easily for me.
yeah. Brian, do you have a story you would like to share with us today?
Yeah, I was telling Jeff before we recorded, it's always hard for me to come up with stories based off of like a theme, but I have 1,000 stories. If I hosted a podcast about embarrassing stories, it'd be just called That Time I Was Drinking.
All right. So you and me have some common ground.
Yes, I spent a good decade binge drinking and embarrassing myself.
Yeah, I'm still in my decade.
Yeah. We're in our 20s, baby.
Woo! We're going to be young forever.
I'm here to show you there is life on the other side.
Shit. We're about to learn some lessons, I feel.
So, I was thinking of going easy with a couple Ghent embarrassing drinking stories.
Okay.
And then see where that goes.
Okay.
Unless you want to give me a one-word suggestion.
No, let's get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was your age,
Yes, I love this. Way back when you were my age. Okay.
I lived on Colley Avenue. I was a little younger than you are now.
Fucking shade. Wow.
And my place was Cantina, Colley Cantina,
Okay.
which is, for those of listeners in other states, it's just a Mexican-themed place where you could get margaritas that were really strong, and my thing was margaritas. And really, there was the kind of place that if you drank 3, you were wasted. If you drank 4, you didn't remember it.
Nice.
I think I went there before I saw your stand-up comedy show.
Oh, fuck. This story has nothing to do with Cantina. I get in 2 stories mixed up.
Oh no.
I can keep going with the Cantina one, and then I'll tell the other one.
Sure.
So, the part of my problem was I lived walking distance to the bars.
Uh-huh. Me
So
and Jeff
I
have
could-
that problem.
I could keep drinking without any concern of driving. And many times I woke up in my apartment, checked my pockets to see if I had my wallet, checked my pocket to see if there was a receipt to make sure I paid my tab, and then just walk out on it.
Right.
And then try to piece together what had happened the night before. One time, I was helped along in that process by a phone call from my landlord.
Oh no.
Apparently what had happened is my neighbors who I was friends with had a friend from out of town, and he and I closed the place down and got what's the type of mail, unhealthy mail?
Junk mail.
No.
Spam.
Unhealthy.
Masculinity.
Toxic
Masculinity.
masculinity.
That type
Toxic.
of mail.
Toxic maleness.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay.
So we decided to destroy my apartment building when we got back.
God.
Uh-oh. You
Just like
We ripped the gutters off. I kicked the glass front door, and it didn't shatter into pieces, but there was a spider web of cracks.
right.
Oh.
And then who was really the victim of my outrage were my neighbors downstairs on the first floor. I was on the second floor.
Yeah.
And they had all this lovely lawn furniture on their front porch.
Oh.
And I threw it all off into sidewalk and street.
Shit.
Oh my god.
But at this time, I was otherwise a pretty normal person. I had a good job.
Yeah.
If you knew me during the day, I was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So then
That's me too. I'm nice during the day.
Yeah.
I got woken up by the landlord calling, like, "What the fuck did you just do last night?"
Right.
And I was like, "Are you sure that was me?"
Doesn't sound like me.
He threw us out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, me and my roommate, who
Oh,
was not
no.
involved.
Ah.
You guys have like till the end of the week to get out,
Jesus.
Fuck.
because I've had enough of your shit. Because this wasn't the first time you had to deal with me.
Oh wow.
I wrote a 3-page letter. Also, at the time, I was saving up to buy my own first house, and I was pretty close to buying a house. I was
Right.
like, I just need 3 or 4 more months, and I'm buying a house. Can you
Right.
please let us live here? And then I went down and met with the girls that lived on the first floor, and said, "Yeah, that was me. I don't know what came into me.
Oh shit.
Were they scared of you?
Not sober me. If you've ever seen sober me, I'm not very threatening.
That's very true. That's
Thank
probably
you.
why I felt so empowered to heckle you. It's like, oh, easy target.
Look at this chump.
Easy target. Everyone move up.
Yes.
Oh God, he's coming after me. I better walk fast. And yeah, I wasn't planning on telling that story, but it started at the cantina. How's that? Boom.
Nice.
How
Shit.
embarrassing. Am I right?
Shit. So did you end up getting to stay or did you still get
Yeah, the
kicked
letter
out?
was successful.
Wow,
Nice.
really?
I'm a very good writer.
Okay.
3 pages?
Cool.
2 or 3. I don't remember exactly. Yeah.
He didn't read that shit.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
this
he
guy
did.
sent me 3 written pages.
It was
All right, fine.
Cavalier Land. I think they're still in business.
Yeah.
Shout out. No, actually, they closed down because one of
Oh.
their properties got destroyed.
Yeah, I read that in the paper
By
too.
some asshole.
Single-handedly?
Yeah.
Guy must have been strong. He must have had big shoulders and massive hands.
You are like the fucking Incredible Hulk. You should audition.
shit. I'm the Incredible Hulk, but triggered by tequila.
Yeah. I had to give up. I gave up on like dark liquor about a year ago, and I haven't
What
had
building was that? The night you heckled me, or was that?
that. Yeah. A few things led up to my my breakup with whiskey, but
Oh.
ever since I've every time I've touched it since, because I still like. Well, because it's confusing because I try to stay away from whiskey because it turns me into a human monster.
Jesus.
But every once in a while, every time someone buys a shot at a bar, it's always Fireball, which is whiskey, but it's like candy whiskey.
It's not really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's whiskey for children.
So I
Artificially whiskey.
I don't
flavored.
exactly consider it to be.
It's mostly
whiskey,
high fructose corn
but-
syrup.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, my whiskey days, well, years were dark years.
So in my years of living in Ghent, I would hang out at the canteen all the time. I didn't fucking know anybody. Right? And I knew who everybody was, but I wasn't friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And I longed for that type of connection.
Oh.
And I thought if I just had one more margarita, people would like me.
Yeah.
Well, one night, I don't even know how I ended up at a house party in West Ghent. With all the faces of the people who I wanted to get to know better. And I was there with a couple friends, and they were fairly responsible. And they were leaving at a certain point. And I was like, I hated them at that moment. Like, why
we
the
can't
fuck?
leave. I'm finally making friends.
Why would you want to leave right now? This is happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet a woman tonight. Like, bye.
He's like trying to lose his virginity and
Yeah.
to no avail.
And then all of a sudden, it was the next morning,
Uh-oh.
and I was on a couch in a house that I didn't recognize.
Did you start looking for mail?
No.
That's what I would do. I like find. Never mind.
What?
I looked up, and there was a guy coming down the stairs
Oh yeah.
in tidy whities. And his first words were, "Who the fuck are you?"
Oh, God.
And I was like, "I'm Brian Garraty."
You're like, Brian Garraty, nice to meet you.
He's
Want to
like-
hang out?
Want to be friends?
What are you doing here? And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I was at the party last night. I must have just crashed here." And he yells up to his two roommates, who all come down in various forms of underwear,
Oh my god.
and a dog.
Oh shit.
And they start freaking the fuck out. None of them have any idea who I am,
Oh, no. They
Or-
didn't throw a party that
or
night.
why I'm there, or what party. Nothing. The dog's not freaking out. The dog's like, "Oh, new person. Let
Right.
me love on him."
Oh.
They are holding the dog back, like, "Do not get near him, dog."
The dog must have invited you over.
And I'm like, they're freaking the fuck out. I'm like, "Guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know how I got
Please
here.
let me leave and I'll never talk to you again.
I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
just didn't mean to bother you. You're not leaving. We're calling the fucking cops."
Oh, no.
And again, I was a pretty nice guy during the day. So the cops come.
Oh my god. I didn't know you had such a dark past.
He does.
This rules.
This rules. And I haven't never told this story in public.
Oh my god. The cops come. What did they do?
They searched the house for signs of breaking and entering. They are unable to find any. And they lecture me. Like, the only time they'd ever seen that in their long storied career, somebody just drunkenly walk into someone's house and go to sleep, was a military Navy guy back from war. What was my excuse? And I'm like, well, I'm a software developer who worked 45 hours last week.
So I had to stay late.
And I'm not comfortable around women.
Did the mystery get solved? Do we know?
So, yeah. So,
Okay.
a little bit. So they finally let me leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like literally only 4 blocks from my house.
Uh-huh.
Or my apartment. I was still in an apartment then. I go to sleep, wake up, have lunch with my neighbors, and tell them what happened. They laugh. And then I live with the mystery of like how that happened, because I didn't know the people from the party that well.
Yeah.
Months later, I see someone who was at the party. And I say, "Oh, you were at that party. Do you remember me leaving?"
And they're like, no, I don't remember you at all.
What party?
First off, she says, "Oh my God, you were hilarious."
I honestly, though, that's never a good sign when I see someone after a night of heavy drinking and they go, you were so funny last night. I always am like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You're just
What
trying
did
to
I
give me
do?
shit
Yeah.
right now.
And she goes, "We put you in a cab
Oh, fuck.
alone."
This was back when cabs were still a thing.
Okay, thanks for pointing that out. Cabs are still a thing, ageist.
So he took out his rotary phone.
We had a
Flip
house
through his
phone,
Rolodex.
and I did not have a cell phone at the time. This whole story took place in black and white.
I love it.
We put you in a cab and you left. It was fine. So I believe either the cab threw me out because I was so wasted, or I said, "There's my plane.
That's the one.
We're here." And I just walked into a house and went to sleep on their couch.
Oh my gosh.
I once, when I was in college, was walking home from somewhere that was kind of far away, and I was by myself because my friend was hooking up, and I was walking back, and a cop pulled over and was like, "What are you doing? Why are you walking?" And I went to school on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, so it's kind of like farm roads a little bit. So, and this was out in the country area of my college town, and he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to get back home. This was before Uber too. And, so the cop was like,
2 weeks before Uber.
He was like, just get in the car. I'll give you a ride home. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I thought he was trying to trick me into taking me to jail because I didn't know how, like...
Oh, I thought you thought he was trying to get with you.
No.
Are you sure?
Are you kidding me? I would have been so lucky to date a cop. Are you joking? Talk about a dream. But no, he was like, I'll give you a ride. But I get in the car and I'm like, okay, I live like right by campus. He was like, oh, that's a little too far.
What?
He wouldn't take me to my apartment.
Shut up.
He took me to like...
I love cops.
He wouldn't take me home. So he was like, do you know anyone who lives like closer to here?
Jesus.
And I was like, well, yeah.
It was close enough that you were going to walk,
I was,
but but too far for him to drive.
It was ridiculous. And I was like, well, yeah, I just came from like this guy's house that my friend's hooking up with. So I had to get a ride back to the house where they were hooking up and just sit downstairs on the couch. Like, all right, well, I guess I live here now.
And that's why we say blue lives don't matter.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Ad break.
That's too far. That's too far.
It's already been said before.
Brian just walked out. He's so mad about Jeff's hatred of the cops.
And he just walked into someone else's house.
Yeah. He's
And now he's
recording a
going to sleep.
podcast.
This was supposed to be the ad break.
Oh, hey, have you ever heard of water?
No.
Okay, well, I can teach you a lesson you won't forget. Walk over to the sink, Jeff. Okay, now lift that metal lever.
Flip. What is that stuff coming out of that weird thing? Should I touch it? Should I?
I'm trying to get you to turn the sink off so I don't have to make this sound effect anyway.
No, I'm very curious of why this liquid is coming out of the sink.
Jeff, quit wasting water. Turn that sink off.
Okay, yes, sir.
That's water. You can drink it and it makes you feel better.
Okay. Is this an ad for water?
How embarrassing. Proudly sponsored by water.
Cool.
That's the end of the ad.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Fucking seamless transition.
And we're back,
That
baby.
ad made me thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? For some soda? Or
Sure.
Jeff, the
soda
ad
water.
was about water.
I know. That's why it was funny what I said.
Oh.
I say funny things.
I forgot. Okay, let's get back to this shit.
It's time for segments and games.
Segments and games. Ooh, ooh, ow, ow. Wait, Brian, you said you had a question for us?
Yeah.
You guys host a podcast together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I host a podcast of my own called The Sexperts,
With producer Matt Cole.
available on all streaming platforms.
Okay, plug. That's fine. Did you pay for that?
And honestly, I've been on like 200 podcasts. This is the first time I've ever been on somebody else's, like a guest.
Really?
Yeah, no one's ever listened. Like, I got to get that guy on.
Congrats, Ryan. Congrats.
So yeah, I host a podcast with Matt Cole. You guys, you and Jeff are really close. You two are really close.
Yeah.
What's it like hosting a podcast with someone you're really close with?
Come on. That's a roast. That's a roast to me, isn't it?
It's just
Wait.
comment on our
Has
relationship.
Brian Garraty become the heckler?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Holy
He caught the
shit.
fly with the chopsticks.
Yeah, the
So-
student has become the master. I know what you're doing.
I was thinking-
Miyagi thing.
I was thinking about this yesterday driving home from work. Do you remember being mind blown when you realized that the fence painting and the wax on, wax off were actually karate stuff, or did you see that coming all along?
Honestly, don't know what you're talking about.
Have you never seen Karate Kid?
Jeff
No, I
doesn't
haven't.
see movies.
Oh, God damn it.
No, yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
That was the plan all along.
My mind was fucking
Yeah,
blown,
dude,
and
it
in
was
retrospect,
cool.
I'm like, oh yeah, I should have seen that coming.
It's
I
called The
know.
Karate Kid.
I have gotten better at movies. Like, I just watched Midsommar, and pretty much at the beginning of the movie, I could kind of see where things, I was like, oh, I don't trust that guy. I don't trust him. I don't know about that. I don't think they should be drinking that, you know.
Gotcha.
And I totally freaking called it.
Cool.
Midsommar.
You want to spoil it?
No,
No,
Jeff
I
told me
haven't-
no.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Spoil it.
I'm
All right,
not
let's
gonna
do
do that.
segments and
Do
games.
it.
That's not what Jeff does. Or that's
That's
Let's
not what
play-
Jeff does.
I don't do.
that's not what friends do to each other. Fuck,
Marry.
kill,
Raise.
fuck,
Marry.
kill,
Raise.
fuck,
Marry.
kill,
Raise.
fuck, kill.
That's right, we're playing Fuck, Marry, Kill,
Raise.
Raise.
Raised like a child.
Yes. Oh, he
You're
catches
the
on
first.
quick.
Yeah, you're a catcher honor. Yeah, so
Unless
we're
it's a
gonna
Karate Kid.
we're gonna give you 4 options, and you have to fuck one, marry one. The one you marry, you cannot fuck. Kill one, and raise one, and the one you raise, you also can't fuck.
It's the anti-pedophile rule.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
I understand.
Okay, so your options: fuck, marry, kill, raise. Me
Me.
Me.
and yourself.
Go.
Jesus. No.
You must.
I love it. Brian's obviously never listened to this podcast before.
And yes, we did play this game with my dad when he was on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay, fuck, marry, kill, raise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise Jeff
God.
Oh, why?
because you need direction. and good parenting, and I've become
Shit.
quite a good dad in my time.
Nice.
I think I could really connect with you and get you back on the right path.
I
Yeah,
feel like
I think so.
you are just the guy to get Jeff on the right track.
I thought I was doing fine.
I'm a little disappointed that I want to be raised by you.
Yeah, me too.
Damn.
Okay.
Well, let's see what happens to you two.
So that leaves fuck, marry, kill.
Yes.
This is really difficult. I'm playing fuck, marry, kill, and there's one female.
Molly gets fucked a lot.
I do. Everyone wants to fuck me.
Maybe that's a reason not to fuck you.
Yeah. I've been around.
But not when the alternative is this guy.
You can fuck yourself.
You can fuck yourself.
The person you
Hey, why
marry.
don't you go fuck yourself?
Did you say the person you marry you never fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also kill yourself. I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
You can do anything to
There's
yourself.
an obvious answer here.
But I have to
Brian.
justify every answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to kill Matt Cole.
Bang, bang, bang.
Because you want to wear his skin?
Because I want to take over his media empire. I want to host Improv Riot. I want to be in Monocle. And I want the love of Mr. and Mrs. Cole.
Yeah.
If they're listening, I could have been your real kid.
That's beautiful.
So, marry without fucking, I'll go Molly.
You don't want to fuck me? What the hell?
Not if everyone else has.
I've never been so
Don't
insulted.
slut shame her.
Yeah.
Slut
Oh my
shame her.
God! Don't
Well,
slut
let me
shame
tell you
your
why.
wife.
Let me tell you why I want to marry you.
Okay.
Access to those bag of potatoes.
Yeah, well, I do.
It's a euphemism.
I do enjoy. I do enjoy a mashed potato, but I would like to cook for you
Oh yeah.
for life or longer.
Treat me. Like,
I would
treat me
I would
right.
just mash all different kinds of things.
love that.
I would mash yams,
Oh.
cauliflower,
Cauliflower.
Ooh.
eggs.
Oh, I love the mashed
Mashed
eggs.
eggs.
So good.
I wouldn't serve you a single meal that didn't meet the blender. I would just blend it all together.
Aw, that's the sweetest thing anyone's ever
Is
said
it?
to me.
Gross.
And that leaves with fuck myself.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
And I'm going to fuck myself for the same reason that I might have in the past. No other options.
Nice.
That's funny because we gave you literally 3 other options and you chose yourself.
They were all
Yeah.
gone.
He used them up.
I used them up.
Oh, jeez Louise. Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck,
Mary kill.
race.
Fuck, Mary kill.
Kill, race.
Freeze.
Fuck. Whew. Wow.
You guys really pronounce raise very well.
Raise.
Race?
Every time you say it, it sounds like race.
Race?
Oh.
Race?
Race.
I
Race.
pronounce stuff wrong all the time, though. I got a bad voice.
Me too.
And you went to college in the Eastern Shore?
I know, it's shocking. The Harvard of the Eastern Shore. Anywho.
Anyways.
Let's move on.
Play another game?
Yeah.
What do you want to play?
Dealer's choice.
Oh, fuck. Are you good at rapping, Brian?
Yes!
Yes. Do it.
Yeah.
White people rapping is against my religion.
Okay, so it's time for Brian Raps.
Brian raps.
Brian Raps, it's a Brian Rap.
This is when you rap to sum up the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to summarize the show
Drop a beat.
in a rap while Jeff drops a beat. He does the beats by hand.
Handcrafted artisanal beats.
Yeah, they're artisanal beats.
Oh God, it's a fucking frog.
I don't.
Billy loves that frog noise. Oh, what's up with the frog noise?
Is
Well,
this-
the beat has dropped.
Can you throw in a snare? There you go.
Am I supposed to sing like Belinda Carlisle or rap?
Dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Uh-huh.
Age is embarrassing. Let's laugh about it.
Haha.
Alcohol is embarrassing. Let's laugh about it.
Aha!
Haha.
Mushy foods are embarrassing.
No,
Let's
they're
laugh
not!
about it.
Haha.
What?
Interactions with the police is embarrassing. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Speak.
Podcasting and putting yourself out there on the internet is embarrassing. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, boy.
Now we gotta let the beat fizzle out.
Yo, fizzle. Go fizzle.
Faux fizzle, my fizzle.
You're the only rapper I've heard that says in his raps.
It's his signature move.
You obviously haven't listened to a lot of freestyle rap.
Obviously.
Right.
That is, one thing's clear.
Speaking of people who don't understand what's going on in movies, he thought 8 Mile, they were really freestyle.
You're talented. It's improv.
To producer Matt Cole, the whole world is improv.
Yeah, I like that rap style. It sounds kind of like Talking Heads.
Thanks. They were the original rappers.
Yeah.
don't know.
NWA was like, I like this band Talking Heads. Let's do what they do.
Yeah.
Talking Heads, but black.
Right. Yeah.
That was
that's
their,
how
that
I
was
would
their,
describe
that was their pitch. That was their pitch.
Yeah. That was how things were done back in Brian's day.
I was around for the first days of rap.
He was.
Nice.
Hot damn.
That's why he's so good at it.
Well, now it's time to wrap up the show.
Segue.
Oh, nice. I didn't even notice I did that.
Hey.
I mean, yeah, I'm pro.
So speaking of raps, I think it's time we wrap this sucker up. Matt, I want you to edit that in where Jeff said it, so it sounded like I did this segue.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thanks. Okay, Brian, is there anything you would like to plug or talk? Well, you already plugged your fucking podcast, so
Do it
don't bring
again.
that up again.
Do it again.
Other than the Sexpertspodcast.com,
Yes.
come see me tonight Nah, I got nothing else.
Comes out this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, come out Thursday when I adopt my new 26-year-old son, Jeff Beaulieu.
Oh.
We'll have a ceremony.
Here for two now,
Can I plan the ceremony?
known as Jeff Beaulieu Garraty.
Ligaday.
You're in other
no,
shows.
I want Jeff to take your first name. Brian Beaulieu.
Plug Herald Night. You're in Herald Night.
Come out to Herald Night, the third Thursday of
Every month.
most months of every month
at the Push Comedy Theater.
where I get
Yeah.
to perform with the lovely and talented Molly Graham.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you're in the same team. That's great.
Whoa, cool.
It's hard to have two bright stars shining on stage like that.
And
but
I get to give constructive feedback to either Jeff Beaulieu or Matt Cole.
Yeah, just
What a
come for the
darling.
notes
Yeah,
part.
notes.
Show up after the show just to watch
Show up
notes.
at 10. We're usually out by 11.
Oh, also, did we ruin your life today?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
I feel like I ruin your life like all the time.
Yeah, you're kind of a drag.
For sure. Okay, and also if you live in Norfolk, Virginia, come to Panties in a Twist at the Harrison Opera House on February 15th. Tickets are on sale now, online or at the Push Comedy Theater, and it's a bunch of girls, and we all take our clothes off and kiss.
I'm there.
Also, check out our
you
Patreon.
had me at Harrison Opera House.
Yeah, right. Also, check out our Patreon page.
Yeah, shout out to Austin Gamlin, newest patron.
Yes, I don't think he realizes it's a monthly donation.
Yeah, don't tell
so
him.
no one tell him that. But yeah, patreon.com/how embarrassing. Bye.
Bye, mommy's little worms.
I love you, worms.
You just listened to How Embarrassing Podcast with Molly and Jeff, a Go On podcast. If you would like to be a guest on the show and you have an embarrassing story, email us at howembarrassingpodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you're generous, donate at least $1 a month every month to our Patreon, patreon.com/howembarrassing.